yo, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be reacting to Stephen A. reacts to Andre Drummond signing with the Lakers. This trade deadline has been the most ridiculous trade deadline that we've seen in a while. We have Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge going to the Nets. We have Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee going to the Nuggets. We got Andre Drummond coming to the Lakers. We got JJ Redick going to Mavericks. Oh, and Rajon Rondo going to the Clippers. This is crazy because all the teams are now being like beefed up for this playoffs, and this is going to be a very interesting Western Conference playoffs. Very interesting because all the teams are loaded. There's not a single team that's not. Besides like the Mavericks and the Lakers a bit. But like every other team is loaded. Like if you look at the Western Conference right now, it's looking very strong. I still favor the Lakers to win because if they have LeBron, AD, Dennis Schroeder, and Andre Drummond, I don't think there'll be much that can stop that team just based off basketball IQ, especially because they have LeBron. But there is the Nets coming up with Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Joe Harris. That team's ridiculous. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Lakers come out on top. But without further ado, let's get into this video, y'all.
Champs, the Lakers making moves of their own, adding Andre Drummond. Stephen A., where did he go to college? Can't remember.
I can't either.
Was it Columbia?
Whatever.
Oh, no, was it Columbia?
Drummond was posting 17 and 13 per night this season. You know what it is. Max,
Yeah.
what do you think Drummond means to the Lakers?
It means, I mean, look, AD's got to come back. He can't just not. But AD doesn't have to be 100%. Now they're going to get out of the West. And part of that's going to be because what happens over the next month. This Lakers squad did not have enough to win very many games, as we could see, right?
And if you guys look back to the bubble, whenever Dwight Howard played center and Anthony Davis played power forward, LeBron James played small forward, that lineup was so deadly, was so magical, nothing could stop it. And then they traded Dwight Howard for whatever reason, I don't know. But they found a better Dwight Howard in Andre Drummond. So I'm very excited to see what that entails. Because Andre Drummond is 20-point 15 rebounds per game type of player, so I'm very excited to see how he plays and meshes well with LeBron and AD.
Schroeder is their best player by far, and they just don't have enough firepower to win, and LeBron and AD are going to be out for a while longer. What Andre Drummond can do in the meantime, guys, he's probably going to average, just walking onto the club, 20 and 15, right? Something like that, because where's the scoring going to be from?
At least 15.
Yeah,
15.
he grabs a lot. So, like, I
rebounds.
don't want to, I know advanced analytics can tell you, but his impact on the game is limited because of X, Y, and Z. But he can play basketball. He's good at basketball, and he's big. So you have not a 7-footer, but somewhere in that area of a guy who can score and rebound and help keep your head above water while you're waiting for the superstars to get back. That'll improve their record. And then, when they do get back, Drummond either gives you great minutes as a backup 5, or you play AD at the 4 with Drummond at the 5, and you have twin towers. The Lakers will get out of the West, provided AD's at least 80% of what he normally is.
I totally agree with you there. There's no argument.
I don't even think AD has to come back if Andre Drummond signs, because Andre Drummond is a crazy interior force, and if he averages, I think, like 5 offensive rebounds per game. If he is in there, they're gonna have to double him. He kicks out to the open man or kicks out to LeBron. LeBron finds the open man and makes you know the plays LeBron James does. I think this team will be damn near unstoppable.
Here in that regard, let's understand something. Andre Drummond is a career 13.8 rebound per game player. 13.8 for his career. I'm looking at his numbers, Max. This dude has been in the league 10 years. The only time he has not averaged double digits in rebounds is his rookie year. The only time. The only time.
He messed around, get you 17 boards a
This
game.
dude is a rebounding machine. And so when you look at it from that perspective, and a career 53.8% shooter from the field, shot about 49% in his 2 years with the Cavs. But, you know, he plays around the basket. He ain't trying to take jump shots or anything like that. Rebounds, putbacks, that's what his specialty is. So when I look at it from that perspective, and your primary offensive players is LeBron James, along with Anthony Davis, and you're kicking it out to shooters, and you have a guy like this dude who's capable of giving you cleanup duty. And oh, by the way, of the 13.8 rebounds he's averaged in his career, Max, offensive rebounds, 4.7. 4.7. Right. So you're talking about a guy the extra possessions cleans up. That's a huge, huge deal, particularly when you consider the #1 team in the West right now is the Utah Jazz with Rudy Gobert. When you've got that as a consideration, when you've got the Joker as a consideration in Denver, when you've got Nurkic coming back and what have you, if you've got an additional big body, somebody who's physical and prioritizes rebounds and getting you extra possessions, and more importantly, limiting other teams from getting possessions because he's snatching those boards, that puts more pressure on opposing offenses to be more efficient against the Los Angeles Lakers, coached by Frank Vogel and his elite staff, whether it's you know, Hollins and Phil Handy and the rest of the crew and Lionel Hollins and those boys. The bottom line is you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, and I definitely think the acquisition of Drummond secures them coming out of the West for this season, assuming that Anthony Davis is going to be about 80% or better.
If Anthony Davis is 100%, or at least 90%, LeBron James gets back to being 90%, Andre Drummond is healthy, they're definitely making out of the West. Definitely.
Especially after Denver makes a move, and there are other teams that make moves. But there's another way to look at it that's kind of like from a broader perspective. The Lakers didn't have enough starting caliber players.
Yep.
They have two superstars, Schroeder, and no one else is really a starter. KCP is not quite a starting caliber player. He doesn't do any one thing well enough to start, right? Does a lot of things well enough to come off your bench. Kuzma's not a starting quality. Like, he's a rotation piece for sure. I'm not dissing him. Like, he can play, but he's not a starter in the league. Drummond's a starter in the NBA. And Schroeder's a starter. Now all of a sudden you look at the Lakers and you go, it's not just that they have two super duper stars. They have other guys who are starting caliber in their rotation. Here's Montrezl Harrell.
Here's what makes.
See, that's another player that they have, Montrezl Harrell. He can put up buckets too, but the problem with the Lakers right now is the three-point shooting. They don't really have too many like great three-point shooters, yet alone free throw shooters. So it's gonna be very interesting to see who they put at the 2. Like, usually they'd put KCP, but like he just said, KCP's not really a starting player like that. If they would have acquired like a JJ Redick, it would have been nice, versus, you know, having to resort to KCP, who can give you maybe 2 3-point shots a game, you know, maybe 10 points. Like, the Lakers need someone that could put up like a good 12 to 14 points from the 2 position, if they have to, even a 20 piece, you know.
Makes it interesting. Here's what makes it interesting. They're sending a message. You're not beating us in the interior. You're not doing anything against us. If you're going to beat us, it's going to have to be from the perimeter. Now, we look at the Clippers. For the most part, they're a perimeter team. We look at Phoenix. We look at Utah because of their ability to shoot threes, even though you got Royce O'Neal and Rudy Gobert anchoring their defense on the perimeter and in the interior. Offensively speaking, even though Rudy can give you something, they're primarily a shooting team. You're going to have to be able to hit perimeter shots in order to beat the Lakers. I don't believe that's going to be enough to beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis unless you are Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. So that is the only shot, as far as I'm concerned, that anybody's going to have to take out the Lakers.
Yeah, like what someone brought this up. I'm trying to remember who it was on the radio, my radio show, Max Kellerman Show, 2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern time.
Radio.
2 to 4, right? 2 to 4 Eastern time, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. LeBron and AD cause such matchup problems for everyone, because you take a guy, you mentioned Royce O'Neal, excellent defender, right?
Excellent.
The problem with LeBron and Rudy Gobert, the problem with LeBron and AD is that's not a matchup for LeBron and AD. These dudes are 6'8" and 6'11", and like you need O'Neal to be 6'9" or 6'10", and you need 2 of them against the Lakers. The Drummond move is a strong move post-deadline for a team like the Lakers to make. I think it solidifies them in the West.
Yeah, LeBron and AD, you can't really guard them. You can't. Anthony Davis is 6'11", can hit threes, jumpers, do the post fade, post hook, can drive in and dunk, can ball handle a little bit. And then you have LeBron, who can shoot threes, ball handle, set up shots for other players, rebound, dunk, drive in the lane, and damn near score every time. And then you're gonna add Andre Drummond, who can post you up like there's no tomorrow. You know, you're not stopping Andre Drummond on the inside. Doesn't matter if you're Jokic, doesn't matter if you're Dwight, doesn't matter who you are, because Andre Drummond is 28 years old. You're not stopping him. He's too experienced. So, yeah, I think Lakers will take it this year. I hope they take it this year, because if LeBron wins this year, he would be the GOAT if he wins this year. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys like the video, leave a like down below. Comment down below anything you guys want to see or your reaction to this video, and subscribe if you're new. And I'm out, y'all.